Hey, how's it going? Just giving an update. Oh geez, you know, anytime I get thrown off course, I swear it's like every single rule goes out the window, and I just have to reset everything. I was dealing with the gut issues after dealing with moving, and I'm finally feeling better from all that. But honestly, I wasn't following my diet rules. I wasn't following the five, 2 of 5 eating. I wasn't following 2 of the 3 eating or waiting till my stomach got to a 0. I definitely wasn't able to work out. I've been, increasing my mobility, but like minimally. And, just noticing that, everything is just thrown off track again. But on top of that, I was eating too many sugary sweets. I was drinking too much soda. I was eating like a pack of gummy worms a day, which is, they were like the strawberry belt ones from Trader Joe's. They're like really good, but you shouldn't eat a whole pack of them a day in addition to your regular food. I mean, every time I wonder, like, oh, why is it, that I've been gaining weight? And it's like, you're you're not eating like you're trying not to gain weight. I wonder sometimes, why when I complain, oh, it was easier when I was younger to lose weight. And honestly, it wasn't. I ate incredibly healthy and worked out all the time, so I looked great. I haven't been eating healthy and working out all the time, so I look a little bit thrown off. That's okay. Anyway, to bring it all back, I stopped buying the gummies and I switched to freeze dried fruit at Trader Joe's, which is one of my favorite things because I like the consistent textures and flavors in it. But it also just has a lot of the vitamins in it that fresh fruit has, and it lasts forever. So I like to eat that. Also, my other sweet treat flip, these little San Pellegrino Zeros were on sale at Costco. So I picked up these, and they're just absolutely delicious. It's like no extra anything, and it's got like 20 calories per can or something, so it's practically nothing. And then I decided I was going to get chocolate because I was dropping the gummies, and I can tend to eat kind of as much chocolate as I want. But then I found these JoJo's, or I'm sorry, yeah, JoJo's. These guys, the dark chocolate pistachio almond cranberry bites. These things are so delicious, and they only have 8 grams of protein or 8 grams of sugar per serving, and they have 5 grams of protein per serving. And I checked, it is not whey protein, it is actually hemp protein, which is really cool. That's totally on my list. Just as a reminder, one of the things I found out is whey protein just makes me bloat for whatever reason, so I really can't have it. I also started having walnuts in the morning instead of just like anything else. I would have like 7 walnuts. I heard it's really good for your neuroplasty and stuff like that. And just getting older, I want to make sure I'm kind of watching out for that stuff too. And then my I had the collagen and hot lemon water with ginger powder on the side of that. So my breakfast is sort of cut back a little bit more. I've noticed that personally, I like to have like meals throughout the day, but I'm not really best on my food, budgets and everything when I snack too much. So it's really best for me to kind of stick to 3 meals a day, and it's really best if one of those meals is kind of more like a snack. I I've done this, my whole life. I've had different types of routines, different things that I would do that kind of stick with one thing or not. And so I just kind of know what works for me at this point. And so for me, it's good for, one of those meals. It used to be when I worked for the water company, I would walk 6 miles a day, and everybody else who worked with me, they all had all their regular weight gain, and they said they'd lose weight at first, but they would gain it later. Well, I noticed there was a massive difference. I lost the weight and I just kept it off because essentially I would eat, kind of a smallish breakfast. And for lunch, usually I would have like a cup of yogurt and maybe a piece of fruit, sometimes like a granola bar or something. It was like more of a snack. And then I would go home and I'd have, a reasonable dinner, kind of whatever I wanted, mashed potatoes, butter, steak, whatever for dinner. And I was down to my goal weight doing that, you know. My coworkers, on the other hand, unfortunately, and I'm not trying to talk bad about people, but they were talking smack about me. They were like, "Oh, you're just gonna gain the weight back," you know. But I noticed when they went to lunch for work, you know, they would go and have big chimichanga lunches with great big sodas on the side, and you know, they were kind of eating, you know, somewhere around 1,500 calories for lunch. And, you know, I didn't mean to be sassy, but I kind of replied back. I said, well, you know, I don't think I'm going to gain the weight back because I eat, you know, yogurt and granola for lunch, you guys. Like I said, I can't imagine I would, you know, the way I was eating. And they kind of got all mad at me, but that's the ADHD for you. We kind of accidentally say things a little too factually for our own good. So I apologize to my coworkers for that. Uh, anyway, so this is how I'm working on getting into my routine. Also, the I'm gonna post the workout routine that I was doing with the movements. It's a little bit on the more technical, difficult side, but just as a reference, you know, this is the one that I found that I liked. And I always recommend doing just whatever level of calisthenics you can. The other thing that I noticed is I was trying some of my old tricks where I would just, you know, try to do the 3-5-3 eating. But I noticed because eating is sort of a dopamine trigger for me. So now if I feel like I'm hungry or, you know, want to eat something, I ask myself, you know, are you hungry or are you just chasing dopamine? You know, and I realized that when I kind of ask it kind of in that way, like not in a judgmental way, not like, are you just, you know, but just like, matter of fact, is this a dopamine hunt, you know? And it's like, oh, most of the time it is. Like, most of the time I had just eaten something or I have food coming up like really soon and I just don't need to be eating like 1,500 times a day. And if I'm just kind of like that honest with myself, because I don't take it personally, it reminds me that, you know, that I need to go hunt down dopamine another way, you know, and I can do that with exercise. I can do that by going and taking a shower. I can do that by, you know, brushing my teeth or just doing something like cleaning the kitchen, like go for a jog, do anything other than what you really don't need to do, and basically keeping that food stacked in your system all the time. For me, that really hurts my body in the long run, and at the end of the day, I end up getting a lot better things done. It helps me with my ADHD if I remind myself that just because my brain wants dopamine doesn't mean we have to you know, do it the easy way with, you know, just tasty snacks or something crunchy. Sometimes I need to actually find something to do. Seems simple enough. I'm going to keep trying. Cheers to that, guys.